Now look, my top 4 might get a little controversial, y'all. And I know some folks is gonna come at my head for this, y'all. Do I need to give my last will and testament before I give my number 3? What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, guys, I will be giving you the top 10 best Christmas movies of all time, or maybe just my personal top 10 favorite, what I think are the 10 best Christmas movies of all time. Now, let me tell you right off the bat, this is not your grandmother's Christmas movie list. It's not that, okay? If you are tired of the same old run-of-the-mill, typical, sappy, family-friendly Christmas movies, then this is the list for you. Or if you like those type of movies but are just in the mood for something a little different this holiday season, then this is the list for you. I am personally a fan of dark Christmas movies, horror Christmas movies. Okay, it might be a few sappy ones on the list, but this is not going to be your average run-of-the-mill Christmas movie list. This is the King Nikki version of a Christmas. It's gonna be death and murder, and it's gonna get a little dark, but hey, 'tis the season. Now you will see me look down at my handy dandy notes because I can't remember every single year that these movies came out, child, and I jotted little notes that I just wanted to make mention of each movie. Also, just to let you know, this will be spoiler free in case you haven't seen any of these movies. I don't want to ruin your movie experience. Let's get right into it. Coming in at number 10 is actually a foreign film, and if you are familiar with my channel, you will know that I'm not really a fan of foreign films, mainly because I'm lazy and I don't be wanting to read the screen, child. Okay, don't come at me. But number 10 is a foreign film. Coming in at number 10, Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale from 2020, listed as adventure fantasy horror. We have a kid in Finland who ends up discovering the truth about Santa Claus. And no, he is not the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. They say that in the movie. Now, I personally really enjoyed this story. This is like a dark horror fantasy fable Christmas tale, and I feel like this movie, while not really particularly my cup of tea in the sense that I always just want a lot of murder and mayhem and chaos, this is just a really good story, very well paced. The characters aren't particularly original, but they are enjoyable. I mean, you have the typical, none of the adults believe me kid character, but all of the actors do really well. I thoroughly enjoy this story. I feel like the atmosphere is really dark, and the movie also has a heart to it. Tell my dad what I did. No spoilers, but you know, that's a line. You know, the movie got a heart, and I actually enjoyed that. So this is a Christmas movie that isn't your typical sappy Christmas movie. It does get a little dark, but it does still have sort of a Christmas heart, I guess you can say. Do I particularly associate Christmas with full frontal male nudity? No, I don't, but you get that in this movie. And I guess for the Norwegians, it ain't really nothing, because in the movie, it ain't really nothing. Now, I feel like this movie, the plot, in my humble opinion, is a little, maybe not the plot per se, well, yeah, it's a little outlandish. And I feel like this movie with this type of plot and story could benefit from not taking itself so seriously, but the movie takes itself seriously. The movie, like I said, the atmosphere, the story, it feels dark, it feels grim. A good sense of tension. You have this dad and son relationship that I don't want to say it feels strained, but you know, I don't want to give anything away, but there's a little tension, with the dad and son, and it ends up actually having a little heart to the story and to their little story. Not much of any character development really, but good characters. I enjoy them. You know, I really enjoyed this movie. It's flawed. There is definitely a little humor to the movie. It's not comedic in any way. It's not a comedy, but there is a little humor to the story. I'm fine with how the central problem wraps up that part of the story. I'm not the biggest fan of how the movie concludes though. The way the actual movie ends for me is a little silly. Not silly as in it ends on a comedic tone, but where the story goes, in my humble opinion, is a little silly and outlandish. And with how it ends, it leaves a lot of questions, which I don't like. I don't know, it feels kind of just odd. But check it out. Am I selling this movie? The movie is good. I thoroughly enjoy it. That is my number 10 for best Christmas movies of all time. Coming in at number 9, it's a classic that I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with. Bad Santa from 2003, listed as comedy, crime, drama. We have a con man and his partner who pose as a Santa Claus and Santa's helper to rob a department store on Christmas Eve. Now, y'all, this movie, first of all, rest in peace Bernie Mac. Love him in this movie. Everyone in this movie, I mean, great performances all around. I am not the biggest fan of comedy. It's kind of a bottom genre for me personally, but man, I love this movie. I laugh out loud, which is very rare for me when watching a movie. I may be like, oh, that was cute, or I find something humorous, but it is very rare for me to laugh out loud, and I laugh out loud on this movie. Thoroughly enjoy it. It feels so inappropriate, outrageous, hilarious. I love the relationship between Billy Bob Thornton and that loner kid. I don't really care for the typical cheesy Christmas movies, and it feels like what we have in this movie, I want to say, is kind of all of that stuff but flipped around, kind of like instead of the adorable little kid in the Christmas movie, we have like this fat loser kid. I thoroughly love that kid, thoroughly enjoy him so much. This is definitely the opposite of your typical Christmas movie. You're not going to get that precocious little adorable kid. There is, in my opinion, still, you know, a little heart to the story, but y'all, this is not Miracle on 17th Street or whatever street they was on, child. I don't know. But it ain't that. Next up, I will actually be putting 2 movies in one slot. Coming in at number 8 is Black Christmas, the 1974 one, listed as horror mystery thriller. We have a group of sorority sisters who end up stalked on Christmas. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this original. It is a pretty simple story, but this for me is really good filmmaking. The prank calls were so, I remember when I first saw this, the prank calls were really jarring for me. I was like, oh, they got him saying that in the movie. They were so demented. The prank calls though go from joke to terror as the sorority sisters are killed off one by one. This is not particularly bloody or gruesome. You know, if you're familiar with my channel, I'm a huge gore hound. You're not going to get that with this movie, but it is a genuinely creepy story. There's a sense of realism, and in my personal opinion, horror that feels real is way more kind of unnerving or scary, I guess you can say. Really good atmosphere. Kind of, you know, they're stuck in this sorority house for a lot of the movie. Those phone calls though, those prank calls are what's really unnerving in my personal opinion. They were so vile and disgusting. Baby, I can't hold on this phone like, oh, okay. It made my skin crawl. It made my skin crawl. And I am also adding in Black Christmas remake from 2006, listed as horror. Same premise pretty much. Now, in the technical aspect, the 1974 version is a better, like, well-made movie, but man, I really love the 2006 version. I want to say, for me personally, it's better than the 74 version. For me, because it has all this, just the stupid ish that I like to see in a movie. I mean, this movie itself does not take itself too seriously. I mean, you can tell that freaking 5 minutes into the movie. It feels ridiculous. Like, it literally feels ridiculous. The gore and the violence is definitely ramped up from the 74 version. The deaths are pretty brutal. Great kills, fun kills, an insane hospital scene that I found. There's a scene with somebody's eye that is particularly disgusting. I love disgusting. The 2006 Black Christmas doesn't take itself too seriously. Definitely a fun holiday watch. Coming in at number 7, The Ref from 1994, listed as comedy, crime, drama. A burglar takes a dysfunctional family hostage on Christmas Eve. Y'all, if you have never seen this, pause my video, go watch the movie, come back to the video. I am telling you, yo, I said with Bad Santa how I don't typically laugh out loud. I don't laugh out loud throughout the entire movie of Black Santa, but I laugh out loud in a few moments. The Ref, y'all, I laugh out loud the entire movie. This movie does not miss a beat. I be laughing so hard my head hurt. Like, this movie is literal perfection. This, for me, is a Christmas classic. This movie, The Ref, is literal perfection from top to bottom. So many freaking classic scenes. Oh my God. You will laugh consistently. I mean, like, you will not stop laughing. You will have to rewind because you're going to miss dialogue because you're going to be laughing so freaking much. The performance of Dennis Leary and Kevin Spacey, I know, but I'm just talking about this movie. But their performances are freaking, I mean, God, top tier. First of all, everybody acting is amazing. But those two, for me in particular, yo, masterclass. These roles feel like they were literal written for all the actors in their respective roles. Perfect, perfection. Literally one of the best scripts, clever scripts, witty scripts. How can we both be in the same marriage and I'm miserable and you're content? Luck. That's not the spirit of Christmas. The spirit of Christmas is either you're good or you're punished and you burn in hell. Who would catch a criminal and let him go free? A Republican? Y'all, this movie, I'm telling you, like, everything in this movie is quotable. Like, it is all so freaking funny and ridiculous. Look, comedy is bottom of the barrel. I don't really care about that genre. But if all comedies were like The Ref, baby, it will be giving my horror genre a run. No, nothing gonna ever. It'll be number 2. Nothing can be higher than horror. But yo, this movie is literal comedy perfection. Perfect comedic timing, perfect script writing, characters. This is how you do a dysfunctional family. One of my biggest gripes with Violent Night, no spoilers, but one of my biggest gripes is the way that they give us that dysfunctional family. This is how you do unlikable characters. This is how you do a dysfunctional, unlikable family. Perfection. The chemistry, the relationship, the bickering between Kevin Spacey and his wife in this movie. Yo, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, y'all. You have to watch this movie every year for Christmas. I mean, y'all, Christmas classic. Coming in at number 6, y'all, look, this is the typical heartfelt Christmas movie, and I only watch this because it has one of my favorite actors ever. I freaking love this guy. And y'all, I literally, look, let's just get right into it. Number 6, The Family Man. Yes, y'all, me, The Family Man. I know, shocking, right? The Family Man from 2000, listed as comedy, drama, fantasy, romance. After After being visited by Don Cheadle, Nick Cage wakes up to find his sports car, his hot girlfriend, traded in for a minivan, a wife, and kids. From successful stockbroker to like salesman. Y'all, I love this movie. I literally watch this movie every single solitary year for Christmas. It's so insane. Now, this movie is the typical like touching, heartfelt, but with a touch of realism. It really feels very practical and realistic, especially the way the movie ends. I'm really not a fan of romance and sappy type movies. One of my biggest gripes is I feel like they're very just not practical. This movie, heartfelt, sappy, gonna get you in the feels, give you that, you know, typical Christmas spirit feeling, but it feels realistic. I actually really like the kid. Man, this is just such a good look at the how your life could have turned out scenario. Nick, it has the just typical Nick Cage flair and charisma and personality. Everyone is just top tier in their roles. Man, y'all, yeah, I love this movie. I really have no complaints at all. Coming in at number 5, Better Watch Out from 2016, listed as comedy horror thriller. A babysitter and a 12-year-old have to survive the night against home invaders. Y'all, look, child. Freaking love this movie. We have this look. Okay, I don't want to spoil nothing. I don't know how you talk about this movie without spoiling it. Love the twist. Okay, love the twist. It does get a little monotonous, which movies that are a one setting type of movie can fall victim to, but this it's just so sick and twisted. Now, I prefer the way the movie feels like it is ending over the way it actually ends. I really don't like how it ends. I prefer the way you think it's going to end, and that's just all I'm gonna say about that. Great movie, but I don't want to spoil nothing, so let me shut my mouth. Coming in at number 4. Now look, my top 4 might get a little controversial, y'all. Argue with your mama. Coming in at number 4 is a movie that tons of people consider the #1 best Christmas movie of all time. At least people of my heart. Coming in at number 4, Die Hard from 1988, listed as action thriller. We have John McClane fighting to save his wife and her co-workers when their office Christmas party is taken over by terrorists. Y'all, what can I say? Literally one of the best action movies of all time. This is classic. Do I have to sell this? Do I have to say anything about the God Bruce Willis? Brilliant action movie. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed with everyone. This is how you do action movie villains. The whole gang, but particularly our main villain. This isn't just the John McClane show. I love everyone in this movie. I love the freaking pompous co-worker that tries to negotiate with the terrorists. I love the black guy terrorists in the group. Everyone is just, man, this is how you do action movie villains. That's all I can say. This is how you do an action movie. This is how you do a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a classic for a reason. Coming in at number 3. And I know some folks is going to come at my head for this, y'all. Do I need to give my last will and testament before I give my number 3? Coming in at number 3, Die Hard 2, Die Harder from 1990, listed as action thriller. On Christmas Eve, John McClane must again fight terrorists. Now look, I know, but in my personal opinion, I like Die Hard 2 better than Die Hard 1. I don't care. No, look. No bomb threats at my house, please. I love Die Hard 2. I love more than 1. And 1 I love. Like I said, one of the best action movies of all time. But baby, I'm gonna go with Die Hard 2. I am. I love that John McClane is not infallible. I love that he loses, he gets hurt, he gets freaking jacked up. I love that about him. Objectively, is the villain in Die Hard 1 better than Die Hard 2? Objectively, probably. But I love William Sadler, so I'm gonna go with his villain over the first one. This movie feels too long. That is my only critique for Die Hard 2. I have no problem with a long behind movie, but it shouldn't feel long. It really feels like they could have cut a good portion of this movie. But even with that flaw, this is still, man, my number 3 pick for best Christmas movie of all time. And I don't know why, when people mention Christmas movies and they mention Die Hard, why they never mention Die Hard 2? Baby, it's Christmas. Coming in at number 2, The Long Kiss Goodnight. And I don't want to hear your mouth. Events happen at Christmas time. Events happen on Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Shut up, argue with your mama. The Long Kiss Goodnight from 1996, listed as action, crime, drama, mystery, thriller. No memory of her life before waking up pregnant. A suburban wife, Gina Davis, with the help of my man Samuel Jackson, discovers that she is not a homemaker. She is actually an assassin. Y'all, look, child, I don't care about none of the critiques folks say about this movie. Yeah, it might be true. But for me, The Long Kiss Goodnight is the best action movie of all time. I don't care. Look, argue with your mama. That's all I can say. Don't argue with me because I ain't gonna argue with you, okay? Best action movie of all time. I am so freaking obsessed with The Long Kiss Goodnight, literal since I was a kid. And it still hits today. I mean, y'all, never a dull moment. This is how you do an action movie. This is how you do an action movie hero. I love that Gina Davis, our hero, isn't your typical good guy. Sam Jackson, y'all, one of my favorite roles of his, and I mean, he done did 50, 11, 100,000 million roles and amazing roles, but yo, perfectly paced, perfect action sequences, perfect lead, perfect buddy sidekick. Yo, look, perfect 90s action villain. I don't care. Freaking love this movie. And there's a heart to the film. Now, before we get into my number 1 best Christmas movie of all time, I have a few honorable mentions. Red Snow from 2011. Not 2011, child. Let's do that again. Red Snow from 2021. Listed as comedy, horror, thriller. We have a struggling writer that ends up having to fight vampires on Christmas. Y'all, look, child. I love this movie, but the only reason it didn't make the list is because this is technically a bad movie, but it is one of those so bad it's good movies. Look, the acting is questionable, but this is just such a fun, entertaining ride from top to bottom, beginning to end. This movie is so freaking fun. I mean, this girl meets a vampire, so, like, just abruptly, and she's giddy when she meets the vampire, y'all. I can't. There is one line that pops up in 50, 11, 100,000 movies that I will never get sick of and that I love, and that is the kill 'em all line. Y'all, this movie managed to ruin that line. Like, this movie messes up the kill 'em all line, but I love this movie. It is so fun. Great freaking Christmas movie to watch. Y'all, really love this movie. I mean, they are talking about the genocide of candy elves. How could you not like this movie? Look, the only reason this ain't make the 10 list is because I cannot say it is better than the 10 that made the list. So in order to make the list, it has to be a, is this better than that? And no, it isn't. But y'all, Red Snow is a great Christmas movie. Next up in my honorable mention is Krampus from 2015, listed as comedy, drama, fantasy, horror. A little boy accidentally summons a demon when his dysfunctional family gets together for Christmas. Now, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the family. I enjoyed all of the actors. This is very entertaining. But honestly, it didn't make the list because I hate the ending. Hate. When there's about 20 minutes left of the movie, I feel like it should have ended. If it would have ended right there, it likely would have made my list. But man, and I would have enjoyed this a lot more if we got a darker feel. It starts off pretty comedic and it gets dark, but I would have preferred just a really dark movie from top to bottom. It definitely has its flaws, but it is one of the better Christmas horror movies. I thoroughly enjoy Krampus. Coming up, my last honorable mention, Friday After Next from 2002, listed as comedy drama. Craig and Day Day is back, child, as security guards, and their house gets broken into and everything gets stolen. The gifts get stolen for Christmas. Now, Friday is the superior film in the Friday franchise. Next Friday is the second superior film. Friday After Next, I love it, but it does not, you know, top its predecessors, but it is still an amazing movie. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon. Love Cat Williams in this. Look, Mike Epps is always perfection. Him and what was I finna say? Omar Epps. Omar Epps must be talking about me. That's a southern thing. If you accidentally say somebody's name and mean they talking about you. But as I was trying to say, Mike Epps and Ice Cube are a perfect match. Man, this is such a funny movie from top to bottom. Definitely a great Christmas watch. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for. The #1 best Christmas movie of all time. And can I just say, y'all, I don't know what is wrong with me, but do y'all know I had Child's Play on this list? When I first was like, I want to do a video of the best Christmas movies of all time. Y'all, why have I seen Child's Play 50, 11, 100,000 million times and thought that the ish was Christmas time? Like, I know it's Andy's birthday, but why that movie felt like it was Christmas time? I don't literal, I had that on my list. But y'all, it ain't Christmas time. Was it just me? Was I the only dope that thought that was Christmas time? And I have literally seen that movie 50, 11, 100,000 times and I thought it was Christmas time. But anyway, coming in at #1, the best Christmas movie of all time. #1 is Inside from 2007, listed as horror. A few months after her husband is killed, a pregnant woman must fight against a home invasion. Y'all, listen to me, child. Inside is truly one of the most disturbing movies I have ever seen in my entire life. Yo, the events happening on Christmas Eve. Yeah, look, this is the #1 best Christmas movie of all time. I am obsessed with this movie, and it is actually a foreign language film. Now, this movie for me is disturbing. There is the back-to-back brutality, the build up to that final scene shot. Like, I'm trying to say this without spoilers, but the back-to-back brutality and that final gut-wrenching scene really makes this disturbing. The violence in this movie is extremely brutal, graphic. Yeah, there's a really good tension to the movie, particularly the final like 15 minutes of the movie. Really good tension. I'm honestly not sure how many people can actually stomach the last 5-10 minutes of this movie. I'm pretty desensitized to movie violence, not real life violence, child, but movie violence. I'm pretty desensitized, but this movie, yeah, it gets even me. Now, my biggest gripe is I wish the characters didn't do such freaking stupid thing. When I say stupid, y'all, I mean like freaking stupid. Oh my god, the characters make such dumb freaking decisions. There are 2 twists in the movie. One twist I saw coming a mile away. The other twist, I did not see coming, and I didn't see it coming at all. And I want to say, okay, I'm trying to talk without really giving spoilers, and sometimes I'd be like, wait, is that a spoiler? Yeah, I think that's a spoiler, so I ain't gonna say it. But I will say, Inside is not just violence for the sake of violence. This is actually a really good movie, a very well-made movie, a good story. This, for me, is one of the most like chilling, disturbing home invasion horror movies I've ever seen. And y'all take it from me, because I'm pretty desensitized when it comes to horror movies. But yeah, this, and I feel like really it's the back-to-back brutality and violence. It just really builds and builds, and you're just like, oh God. Yeah, this will really set the mood for Christmas. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of my Christmas movie list, and do you have any top 10 Christmas movies that you feel are the best Christmas movies of all time? What is your #1 Christmas movie of all time? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you like this video if you enjoyed my list. Something different for the holiday season. Make sure you subscribe, hit your bell notification so you'll be notified when I post. I'll see you in the next one, and make sure you check out my other ranking movie list. I will include that playlist in a card and on the end screen. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. 'Tis the season, bitches.